It all started with the first member reveal. Fans voted, subunits formed, every reveal brought new possibilities. 24 members, countless experiments, and one bold idea. And finally, it was time. The 8th of May 2024 arrived. 2 years of reveals, rotations, subunit tests, legal noise, and constant doubt all led to this single moment. For the first time ever, all 24 members of tripleS stepped onto a single stage and performed Girls Never Die. The choreography demanded precision most groups never even try. 24 members shifting formations, creating patterns that had to stay clean or the whole thing fell apart. Get too close and it looked messy. Spread too far and the unity broke. But tripleS held the line all the way through. Vocal distribution worked the same way. Lines moved across members without anyone fading out. Rap parts stayed sharp even with multiple voices sharing sections. The performance stayed intact because everyone knew exactly where they needed to be. The scale hit immediately. Seeing 24 members move in sync and maintain steady vocals proved this was more than a collection of subunits. It was a full team built exactly for this moment. Social media reacted almost instantly. Clips spread everywhere. Some people focused on the sheer size of the stage. Others noticed the small things like a formation flip or a clean harmony, little moments that showed just how much talent was moving on that stage. And the numbers followed. Within hours, Girls Never Die climbed charts, outperforming every previous tripleS release. The full team brought a level of impact none of the subunits could reach on their own. 6 days later, tripleS finally reached the moment every K-pop group works toward, their first music show win on the 14th of May, 2024. The members broke down immediately. Some dropped to their knees, others held on to each other, overwhelmed by what this win meant. For most groups, it's a milestone, but for tripleS, it was proof. 2 years of experimental releases, shifting lineups, and constant questions about whether this system could actually survive, all led to this single announcement. Fans who spent 2 years voting through gravity, collecting objects, defending the concept, and waiting through endless subunit cycles finally saw their effort pay off. And the win mattered. Music shows measure everything: charts, sales, broadcast points, and public votes. It's a direct test of whether a group has real impact beyond a dedicated fandom, and tripleS passed it. Their decentralized model didn't limit them. It proved they could stand shoulder to shoulder with traditional groups. Their debut album Assemble 24 kept performing well through May and June as Girls Never Die spread internationally. New listeners explored the group's deep catalog of subunits, each offering something different. If you liked high-tech pop, AAA had that. If you preferred bright self-love energy, LOVElution delivered. If you wanted something more vocal-focused, Aria provided it. The idea of infinite possibilities stopped being a slogan and became something you could hear. While most groups spend years building a varied discography, tripleS had already created one by design. June 2024 introduced Glow, a non-voted and a non-promoted subunit built to reveal the final 4 members, S21 through S24. Their single Inner Dance carried a Y2K-inspired sound with upbeat pop production that leaned into a bright, danceable atmosphere. Glow closed out the individual introduction phase for all 24 members in the 2024 cycle. October brought Visionary Vision, the largest tripleS subunit to date with 12 members, centered on performance. The lineup allowed for sharp choreography, complex formations, and stage presence that felt bigger than anything the group had shown before. The OT24 debut could have ended the subunit system, since the full group was already active. Instead, Modhouse continued the structure that defined tripleS from the beginning. New subunits kept forming, each exploring different musical directions. Visionary Vision's album Performante also set a record. tripleS became the first girl group to release 2 Korean full studio albums in a single year, marking a milestone no other group had reached. November introduced Hachi, the Japanese debut unit. 8 members promoted Untitled in Japan through a collaboration with Sony Music Japan that leaned into a more classic J-pop style. The Japanese industry followed different chart systems, promotional patterns, and audience expectations. Hachi showed that tripleS could adapt their concept across borders while respecting local musical styles. The unit returned in 2025 with the lead single of their first Japanese EP. The release strengthened their foothold in the market and proved that the subunit approach functioned internationally just as smoothly as it did in Korea. Each subunit showed how unique tripleS is. Other groups followed one comeback at a time, waited, then returned with another. But tripleS ran multiple concepts at once. Members rotated between units based on both fan votes and company decisions, making sure no one stayed stuck in a single image. Yuyeon could perform intense choreography with Visionary Vision one month, then join LOVElution for more vocal-focused music the next. Nakyeon could rap in one release and sing in another. The rotating format gave every member space to explore different strengths instead of being boxed into a single position. Fans stayed involved through Gravity, voting on the lineups they wanted to see next. The object system continued working as intended. 2.5 years after the first member reveal, the system still held. Subunits kept forming, fans kept voting, and the group kept evolving. 2025 opened with tripleS already established. May 12 brought Assemble 25 with the title track, Are You Alive? The song leaned into a more mature sound as the group kept growing. Vocals carried more confidence, and the choreography pushed further while keeping the same controlled consistency fans expected. World tour announcements followed soon after. The group held full 24-member concerts in Seoul and Tokyo under the Alive 25 tour title. Other stops, like the North American Alpha Percent Tour, featured the 8-member Alpha unit, letting tripleS reach global audiences while adjusting to different tour demands. Setlist mixed OT 24 tracks with subunit songs, giving fans the complete view of what the group offered. Fans who voted through Gravity saw everything take shape on stage, with a scale that felt different in person. November 2025 marked their boldest step yet. Madhouse announced the MSNZ project, a plan to debut 4 new subunits at the same time. Moon, Sun, Neptune, and Zenith all released music on November 24 through the shared album called Beyond Beauty. Each unit introduced its own title track. Moon dropped Cameo Love, a drum and bass song about feeling like the side character in someone else's love story. Sun brought Bubblegum Girl, a nostalgic pop track with Frutiger Arrow influences that leaned into upbeat romantic energy. Neptune released Fly Up, a straightforward high-energy anthem about chasing freedom. Zenith closed with Q&A, an electronic track focused on a girl discovering new feelings and searching for honest answers. Different members, different concepts, all landing on the same day. The album also included an OT 24 track called Christmas Alone, an electro-pop song with Jersey Club touches that tied the project back to the full group. Most companies released comebacks one by one to avoid splitting attention. Madhouse released 4 at once, confident the audience could support multiple styles without losing focus. The approach reflected the idea behind tripleS from the start, taking risks and trusting fans to follow. The strategy worked. All 4 units promoted without dropping momentum. Fans spread their support across every release, and the Gravity system handled the added pressure as supporters voted for their favorites while still keeping up with the rest. tripleS showed the model could keep going. 2 years after the OT24 debut, They moved with the same experimental mindset they started with while proving the system still worked. The difference now? Everyone believed they could pull it off. By late 2025, tripleS had settled every question people had about them. Decentralization worked. 24 members worked. The idea of endless possibilities turned into something you could actually see. They built the world's first decentralized idol group, let fans guide the direction through their choices, and kept exploring different styles through subunits while still bringing all 24 together without losing focus. tripleS showed what happens when a group trusts its fans and stays open to trying new things. They took risks, pushed through doubt, and created a model no one else had attempted at this scale. The idol of all possibilities stopped feeling like a tagline and became part of how they moved as a team. And the question that ended Part 1 finally had its answer. Yes, 24 can become 1. tripleS dared to be bold. Will you?